Hey guys, what's up? It's the Anime Blaze coming to you with another video, that is right. And welcome to another episode of Blaze Talks. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long it's been, since I've actually done an episode of Blaze Talks, but just in case you're new and you have no clue what it is, Blaze Talks is where I take any given topic on my channel. Most of the time it's dealing with anime or manga, but I know I do talk about other things as well. But it's where I take those topics and I think about them for a while. I just ponder them and then just think of different things to, branch off of from there. And then I come back and I give you guys my thoughts in the video format. And so you guys can get a better understanding of where I'm coming from or, a better understanding of who I am, that kind of thing. And today's video or today's episode is going to be kind of a sequel or follow up to a video that I did couple of years ago. I can't remember the exact date, but it's an episode of Blaze Talks where I talked about being yourself. And if you guys haven't seen that video before, if you haven't seen that episode, check the description, or I'll leave a link somewhere in the video so you guys can check that out. But today's video, I'm going to be talking about fear and, how it is that, different things that I've gone through with it and just, overcoming it, that kind of thing. So I guess I'll start off with the actual definition of fear. Went to Google. One of the definitions it has here. It says fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. And the second definition here is it says a verb, to be afraid of someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful, or threatening. And in a lot of different ways, fear can be described like that. A lot of different things that we're afraid of in life can be described as fearful. Some people have a fear of spiders. Some people are afraid of snakes. Heck, some people are afraid of, water or air or something like that, right? Some people have fear of different things like that. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid of something. It's what keeps us alive. It's what keeps us grounded in reality. That not everything is going to be pleasant. Not everything is going to be all sunshine and rainbows. And especially in my case, I'll give you guys an example for me. For the longest time, since I was, I guess, a little kid up to about freshman year of high school, I was and still kind of am to an extent, a socially awkward person, not really knowing what to say, not really wanting, to say much of anything or talk to people. And, I wasn't really sure where to go with that. Because, I'm thinking like, man, am I going to be like this my entire life? And am I just going to be afraid to talk to people, that sort of thing? But, I got over that a little bit. And eventually, more fears came into place or replaced that one. Eventually I did come across the fear of, and it wasn't an irrational fear or anything like that, but just kind of a legitimate concern, of graduating high school. High school, man, what a brilliant time to be alive, right? In some people's cases. And for me, it was senior year, right? It was senior year, and, I had plans, I had things that I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but not 100% sure of how to go about it, that sort of thing. And the biggest fear that I had was that, no matter how much I tried, how much, I wanted to do something, I always figured, what, I would fail, and that, that's the overarching thing. And that's something that I've struggled with my entire life. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. One of the things I've struggled with my entire life is the fear of failure, and that everything will come to a crushing and crumbling halt if I fail something. And it's kind of part of me being self-conscious, and eventually, I was like, what? Let me see something. And I don't know if you guys have heard of them before, but there's a guy who's on YouTube, goes by the name of Tyrone Magnus. He's gotten big over the past couple of years for his personality, his personality for what he does, his ambitions, his goals, his advice that he really does push for people to try to be themselves and do, things that they've never really thought of doing before, And so I sent him a message talking about it, and he sent me a response back, saying, hey, everybody has a fear. You just, it's all about how you face it. And I mean, yeah, I faced it. Um, and it's all about actually trying to face your fear. Because, I mean, there are going to be lots of things in life that you're not sure how to confront. But I mean, as long as you try and face it, try. It doesn't matter, you know, if you do fail. It doesn't matter if you do have an overarching looming sensation of not being able to do it. The matter that you actually tried speaks volumes about who you are as a person. Because there are billions, millions of people out there in this world who have things that they want to try and do, things they want to try and accomplish, but never actually went out of their way to try and do it. Because I mean, like, for example, the situation of let's say, somebody wants to try out for, a basketball team. They want to try and become, a basketball player for their high school or middle school, basketball team. But since they have a fear of, they're saying like, man, there ain't no way I'm going to be picked. They decide not to do it. Well, you never know, unless you actually go out and do it. And I mean, and like I said, even if you have an overarching fear of things in your life, you never know. I mean, because there are people in this world who see stuff in you that you can't even see. You know what I'm saying? And like, for me, I guess going back to what I was talking about before, of having the fear of talking to random people, talking to random strangers and people. I mean, yeah, it's a thing. It really is an unknown situation because you don't know how people are going to react. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could come across somebody that is legitimately nice, is having a good time in life, and really just wants to spread love and cheer. Or you could come across somebody that's a total jerk and doesn't care about it. Doesn't want to talk to you and pushes you to the side. But even though the fear causes an uncertainty of emotion, and you don't know what to happen, you don't know what's going to happen. You shouldn't use that as an excuse to not at least go out of your way and try. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's just like, like we're being born, like when we're born into this world, we pretty much sign off on a contract saying that, hey, the only thing you're guaranteed in life is death. There's no guarantee that, you'll be born into a rich family, a poor family. There's no guarantee that you'll have friends that'll have your back. There's no guarantee that, everything in life will be pleasant. There's nothing guaranteed of that. The only thing that we can guarantee you is that, you'll have a life of some sort of another, and that, when the time comes, we're coming back to take that, to hit you up with that deal that you signed off on at the beginning. So the only thing that's guaranteed in life is death. And I mean, if we were to spend our entire lives being trapped in the concept of fear and not wanting to go out and achieve something and do something, and try to accomplish it, then I mean, we aren't really living. You know what I'm saying? Like, we aren't truly living our lives. I mean, the simple fact, the simple fact that there are many, I mean, there are millions of people in this world who are facing things that they've never done before in their life, that, they're going out of their way and actually, hey, they may not make it, but at least they tried. Or there's another opportunity lined up somewhere that somebody saw something in them that brought them to where they are now. You know what I'm saying? And so you never know. I mean, you have freaking astronauts, people going out into space, knowing full well that there's an opportunity that they might get stuck on the moon. Like when they're first going out, I remember I saw a report, saying with, Neil Armstrong and like some other people that, that traveled to the moon, they already had speeches and different messages and stuff that they were telling people that, hey, these guys got stuck on the moon. We have no way of getting them back. They're probably going to starve, or they can commit suicide to, pull their helmet off, that sort of thing, and die. That is the only thing that they really have. And they already had all this stuff laid out. But even though they knew that was a thing that they could possibly face, they went out of their way to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And heck, like, even with YouTube, I mean, if you go back and watch my first video, no doubt. I'm not gonna freaking lie to you guys. My first video was one of the hardest things for me to make because I was and still kind of am to an extent, again, because I'm a work in progress like everyone else. I was a self-conscious, nervous wreck in a lot of different ways, and that was my first debut on YouTube. And I mean, granted, I'm not huge by any means. Granted, I'm not a huge, celebrity in the anime community, and I'm not getting hit up with sponsorship deals or anything like that. I'd say the simple fact that I was able, and you saw over the course of the different videos that I did, how much I've gotten more talkative, how active, like I'm actually, moving around and stuff in my videos, making, jokes that may or may not be funny because I don't care. The simple fact that I'm able to do that now speaks volumes about, where I'm at now, says that, hey, I mean, I could have just said, forget it, I'm gonna be fearful. I don't know, I can't, I may not make it. I may not, do anything on YouTube. I may not actually get my opinion heard, but the simple fact that I was willing to rise to the challenge of making YouTube videos and facing that challenge, head on, says something about me, says something for me to myself that, hey, I put in the effort, to at least try. And, over the course of years, people were, the simple, and I always question myself, I say to this day, I always say it, why do people click on my videos? Why do people watch me make videos? Why? I don't understand it. But you know what? And like I said this before, I'm a firm believer in the fact, and like I said, I'm a Christian too. I'm a firm believer in the fact that God has put people on this earth to see qualities in ourselves that we can't even see. So regardless of how bad or how negative there is something that we feel about ourselves, there's always going to be somebody that is close to us, or just sometimes even a random stranger that sees the potential and sees something good in us that we don't even see, and that I'm a firm believer in that. I really am. And so, maybe, that's why I'm feeling like, why people click onto my videos sometimes, because I may not feel that, I'm making a difference. And then, I turn around and have people tell me like, yo, you made a difference in my life. I'm doing this now, I'm doing that. And that makes me happy. The simple fact that I'm being myself, I'm being me, I'm doing, this thing here. I may not be number one, but, to me, I feel good knowing the fact that I'm able to do something and that people are seeing something in myself that I'm not even seeing. So to me, that speaks volumes. That makes me feel good. And so overcoming that fear of uncertainty, doing things that you've never done before, I encourage everybody to go out and do it. Because I mean, even, in the sense of being afraid to talk to people, being afraid to meet random strangers, there's a 50-50% chance of everything in life. There's a 50% chance that things will go good. There's a 50% chance that things will go bad. And I mean, you can't let that fear, paralyze you from going out and do something. Because I mean, like I said, I could have been fearful my entire life of talking to people, not gone out and talked to different people, and, just been a recluse and just said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to do this. This is life. This is me. That's it, But for the simple fact that I said, you know what, that is something that could potentially happen, but I don't want it to happen. The simple fact that I went out of my way to talk with different people, to make a YouTube channel, helped me to come across different people. I've made friends on YouTube. I've made lifelong friends in real life that, that they've told me straight up, like, you need anything at all, man, we got your back, that sort of thing. So that speaks volumes, what I'm saying? That speaks volumes about, what you can do. So I encourage everybody, regardless of what it is that you're fearing in life, it doesn't matter if you fail, because I mean, you can't win all the time. And as far as I'm concerned, even if you do fail, you're winning, at least in some areas, because now you know how you might be able to go about accomplishing the task. Maybe you won't accomplish the task, but you know what? The simple fact that you put in the effort to even try in the first place speaks volumes more than about the people who didn't try. So yeah, I encourage everybody to go out of their way to do something awesome, do something cool that you've never done before, and face your fear of uncertainty. Because nothing in life is certain but death. So what do you have to lose? You know? You don't know when you'll die, so you might as well go ahead and try something new, do something different beyond that. Be yourself, going out and facing that fear. Because let me tell you, you will feel better about it. You'll feel miles better than where you were originally. So, with that being said, I'm the Anime Blaze, signing off saying never doubt your capabilities, because you never know what you might be able to do. And come back next time for, whatever it may be happening that I decide to do. Whether it's an anime review or another Blaze Talks episode or something along this lines or another topic or whatever, we'll just have to see. Because I don't even know. I mean, I have a list, but I don't know. Uncertainty, but I'm doing it anyway. So I'll catch you guys later, and whatever it may be happening that I decide to do. Later.